Have you ever looked out at the ocean and felt like something was staring back? Not from above, but from deep, deep below. Beneath the waves lies an alien world, a place darker than night, heavier than we can imagine, and more mysterious than space itself. Ancient creatures, unexplained sounds, sunken cities, boiling volcanoes, and ecosystems no human has ever touched. So what's really hiding beneath the ocean's darkest depths? Today we dive into the unknown. But first, if you're fascinated by the strange, the hidden, and the powerful, subscribe and turn on notifications because we're just getting started. Most people know the ocean is deep, but the Hadal Zone, that's a different story. It begins around 20,000 feet deep and stretches to the very bottom of ocean trenches. At that depth, pressure is over 1,000 times what we feel at the surface, enough to crush a human body in seconds, and yet life exists. Tiny amphipods with translucent shells, snailfish with gelatinous bodies, creatures that glow without sunlight, that hunt without eyes, that survive where we thought nothing could. In 2012, a probe captured something strange, long ribbon-like creatures spiraling together, like a living vortex. Never identified, never seen again. We've explored more of the moon than we have of the Hadal Zone, so what's still down there, waiting to be found? Everyone knows about anglerfish and giant squids, but the real deep-sea monsters are the ones no one talks about. Take the Dumbo octopus, a ghost-like umbrella-shaped creature that lives nearly 13,000 feet down, or the faceless cusk eel, a fish with no visible eyes or mouth, first discovered in the 1800s and rediscovered in 2017 after being lost to science. Then there's the deep staria jellyfish, a massive pulsing bag of skin that looks like a floating ghost. It doesn't sting, it smothers. Many of these creatures are so fragile they dissolve when brought to the surface, which means we still don't know how many species live in the depths. Thousands, tens of thousands, or something that isn't even from here at all. Could entire civilizations be hiding beneath the sea? In 2001, sonar scans off the coast of Cuba revealed massive stone structures nearly 2,000 feet underwater. Perfectly shaped pyramids, long roads, circular plazas. Scientists were baffled. If they're real, they'd be older than any known human city. Then there's Yonaguni, a rock formation off Japan's coast. Some believe it's a natural formation. Others say it's a sunken temple built by an ancient people, long before recorded history. And in the Gulf of Kambat, India, underwater ruins that suggest civilization existed 9,000 years ago, long before the Egyptians built pyramids. Whether myth or fact, one thing's clear: the ocean guards its secrets well. Most volcanoes aren't on land, they're underwater. And they're not just explosive, they're strange. One example is Cavachi, an underwater volcano in the Pacific. It erupts boiling water, sulfur, and gas. Yet somehow, scientists found sharks living inside it. Yeah, sharks, swimming in a volcano. Then there are hydrothermal vents, which pour out water hot enough to melt lead. These vents create acid lakes on the sea floor, and somehow life thrives there too. Bacteria, worms, crabs, all feeding off chemicals, not sunlight. It's called chemosynthesis, and it might be how life began on Earth, or how it might start somewhere else. In 1997, microphones deep in the Pacific picked up a sound. It was loud, it was powerful, and it didn't match any known creature or machine. They called it the bloop. Some thought it was a new sea monster. Others blamed ice quakes. But no one knows for sure it wasn't alone. There's also the Julia, a screeching sound picked up in 1999. The upsweep, a strange signal that's been repeating every year since the late 80s. And slow down, a deep moaning sound recorded in 1997 that seemed to move. Are they natural, mechanical, or something else? Deep sea acoustics remain one of the biggest mysteries in marine science. And we've only just started listening. At the bottom of the sea, sunlight disappears, but life doesn't. Down here, entire ecosystems exist in eternal darkness. There are fish that glow with bioluminescence, organisms that pulse blue, green, and red through their skin. Some flash to attract prey, others use light to scare predators. Some even communicate with Morse code-like pulses. In 2016, scientists discovered the Lokiarchaeota, a type of microbe so genetically unique, it might be a missing link between simple cells and complex life. It lives miles below the surface, in places with zero light and crushing pressure. It raises a big question. If life can thrive here, could it also exist deep beneath the oceans of Europa or Enceladus, two moons of Jupiter and Saturn? Maybe Earth's darkest places hold the key to discovering life beyond Earth. The ocean isn't flat, it drops sharply. Ocean trenches are long, narrow scars in the seafloor, thousands of miles long and over 36,000 feet deep. The Mariana Trench is the deepest place on Earth. At the bottom is a spot called Challenger Deep. So deep, if you dropped Mount Everest in, it would still be underwater. But it's not just depth that's strange. In 2016, researchers found toxic metals and microplastics at the very bottom of the trench. Proof that even Earth's most remote places aren't untouched by us. Even stranger, certain trenches have magnetic anomalies, areas where compasses go haywire. And in the Philippine Trench, scientists detected deep rumbling sounds that don't match earthquakes or underwater movement. Is the Earth itself hiding something beneath the pressure? In 1974, a family in Florida found a perfect metal sphere buried in their yard. It would vibrate, move on its own, and make strange humming noises. They claimed it came from the sea, where they'd recently been boating. No explanation was ever found. But it's not alone. Divers have reported strange spherical structures on the ocean floor for decades, some natural, some not so easily explained. Then there's the Baltic Sea anomaly, discovered in 2011. It looks like a giant sunken spaceship, complete with stairs, right angles, and what appears to be an impact trail. Skeptics say it's a rock, others aren't so sure. And in 2018, a strange metal object washed up in Australia, so complex and heavy no one could identify it for months. The sea doesn't just hide life. It may also hide technology, artifacts, or evidence of something else entirely. We've explored space, we've mapped the human genome, we've climbed Everest. But over 80% of our ocean is still unexplored. That means most of our planet remains in darkness, unseen, untouched. What's hiding in that darkness? Maybe new species, maybe ancient civilizations, maybe things we're not ready to understand. The deeper we go, the more we realize we've barely scratched the surface. If you enjoyed diving into the unknown, subscribe to Pursue Insight for more mysteries, discoveries, and truths you were never taught in school. Until next time, keep exploring. And remember, the greatest mysteries lie just beneath the surface.